Hello guys, and welcome to DISNEY Dreamlight Valley. I have worked on this video for probably a week, every single day, doing lots of testing, lots of building, and it would mean a lot to me if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can wait, you don't have to do it now, just wait until the end of the video, and if you feel like it was worth your time and it helped you out and you enjoyed the content, I would appreciate if you like and subscribe to the video then. For now, let's get straight into it. If you've seen my video about 6 months ago when I made the most efficient farming setup, and it was the most efficient. It used very sophisticated farm layout that would allow you to basically force all the extra drops from your villagers to fall into specific location, and it was super efficient. You should watch that video. Actually, don't watch that video. Watch this video, because this video has improved the most efficient farming setup 2.0, and this one is completely blows the first one out of the water. I know there's a lot of people that's still using the setup from the first video, and guys, I got a nice juicy upgrade for you. Introducing the farming setup 2.0, and it is in Eternity Isle. The principle, though, it can be recreated anywhere, but I feel like this little pocket in, what's it called? The ruins. The ruins in Eternity Isle, if you don't have expansion, you can easily build this in regular valley. I'm going to show you exactly how. So why did I choose this area? First of all, it's perfectly square and it's small, which means that you will not, basically it's the edge, so you will not have things flying over the wall, which makes it incredibly easy. So basically you're guaranteed to collect all of the extra drops right here in the middle. So let me give you a tour. First of all, you might be wondering, why is this bush here? Why is this not symmetrical? Well, it's not my fault. It's the game's fault, because look, this whole thing is completely symmetrical if you take this door. So everything is 100% symmetrical according to that door. But for some reason, this opening is not symmetrically on the middle. It should have been one square to the right. So even in its own layout, DISNEY Dreamlight Valley just doesn't like symmetry whatsoever. Anyway, that's not important. I also combined this area with a garden. It has every single fruit tree and bush from the entire Eternity Island positioned right here. In the end of the video, I'm going to show you like the view from the top. You can design this as like whatever you want. The point is, the most important thing is not to have a single square exposed, because we need to force every single drop to fall down in this area, and it's very important for this area to be exactly the same size. As you see here, it has to be half, like one square into this bush. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you exact measurements in the end. Now, what makes this setup special? Well, first of all, what if I told you that you can harvest all of these pineapples using a gardener villager and get all of the extra drops without taking a break? Yes, 120 pineapples. And this setup only works with pineapples. It doesn't work with pumpkins, because pumpkins take 4 times more space. So this little corridor of space between the pineapples is not going to be enough to fit all the extra pumpkins, but it is enough to fit extra pineapples. And the way this works is that when you're doing your final row in DISNEY Dreamlight Valley, when you're farming this row, you're gonna automatically pick up everything that's on the row nearby. So everything in the first half of this carpet will be picked up while you harvest this row, and then you're gonna go around and pick up the other half while harvesting that row. So technically you're gonna pick up the earliest drops, and in the end, after you finish farming this whole setup, you just have to pick up whatever's left on the carpet one time. Also, this is built to be completely automatic, except these 2 pineapples. These 2 pineapples you're gonna have to plant manually, but the good news is that if you don't mind taking a break in between harvesting this field, then pick everything up, then harvest this field, pick everything up. Basically, Basically the same thing we had in 1.0 setup. It's just much more compact this time because pineapples don't require as much space in the middle. So you could do that. Just harvest this field, then pick up all the extra drops in the middle, then harvest this field. So you don't have to have them connected. But this actually saves a little bit of time. But if you absolutely don't want to be planting anything manually and you want to just use these things, you can just load it up. These are level 3 gardener machines. And they're gonna farm, they're basically gonna water and plant everything for you. So let me show you this in action. It's gonna blow your minds. Now this is gonna be efficiency, and it's at its finest. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough space. Let's get right into it. 1, 2, 3, go! All right, so right away there's been an issue with the setup initially. I have to make a few adjustments. So this is not gonna, I cannot afford for things to go that high. So instead, I'm just gonna cut off the first 2 things completely, and then I'll have to figure out the way to block these areas. This seems to be pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it blocks off the area. So yeah, first 2 needs to be blocked off because it just doesn't pick them up properly. All right, now it should work. Let's hope that everything is set up properly. Let's save it, and in the end we're gonna talk about the setup and why and how it works. Let's get right into it. So I'm literally gonna hold this button without basically doing anything, and as you see, all the pineapples should go on the red carpet. All other squares are actually blocked off. There's plenty of space to fit all of the pineapples and a couple memories and potentially some rich soil. There's plenty of space for everything, so nothing should ever fly off the map. At least no pineapple will fly off the map. There might be occasional rich soil, but it's very unlikely. As you see, when I'm farming my last row, I'm actually picking up most of the pineapples on the last row. And then I still keep holding, and my character is just gonna keep doing this. And look how many pineapples I'm already picking up while harvesting, while not even taking a break. Yeah, I don't think there will ever be a situation where rich soil will need to fly off. Now, all of that stuff that's left, I'm gonna swoop in the end. It should give me plenty of time to be able to harvest it, to pick it up before it solidifies, so it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. I'm going pretty good. Look at all these pineapples. It's gonna be so satisfying in the end to pick them all up. Oh, that's gonna be... Look at this. Look at that field. And now we just do this. Okay, I did mess up a little bit and 2 pineapples got solidified. I wonder why. Okay, I feel like this is annoying. 2 pineapples get solidified. I wonder if I make it a little bit more narrow. But I think if I make it any more narrow, it's not going to solve the issue. So I guess this is as good as it gets. You would get 1 or 2 pineapples left over maybe once or twice. Like 1 out of 3 times maybe. Most of the time you should be able to pick up absolutely everything before it solidifies. Also, once again, if you want to simplify this design, just remove these 2 holes. Completely remove them. And have 2 separate fields. Then you will never run into this issue. You harvest 1 field, then you just run through this rug once, pick everything up, and then you go and harvest the second field. And once again, all of the crops are going to drop right here. So you just run and pick everything up. If you're going to remove these holes, make sure to cover up, just move the rugs up. And if you are going to do that, it's okay to have the red rug a little bit longer. This is only necessary because I was trying to... when you take a turn right here, you don't go all the way to the end. So you would not pick up like the final 2 places. So this is only needed for this particular setup. But honestly, I'm considering... And also, like in this setup, once you can literally just replant everything automatically, like absolutely easily like this. Boom, everything is going to get watered. It's absolutely great. Boom, it takes like 30 seconds to replant. Once again, this is just an option to have these 2 things. If you were to keep it this way, you'll have to replant them manually. But yeah, I feel like we should just get rid of them. I think it's going to be way more efficient without using them. So we're just going to do this, 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 and we're just going to remove these things, and we're just going to place another rug. And it's just going to make it so much easier, because I try to like it becomes more efficient when harvesting, but it does become less efficient when you just want to replant things. You'll have to replant 2 things manually anyway, which defeats the purpose of having the planters. But maybe somebody will actually like the option with those 2 plants. It's up to you. It's your choice. It's your garden. Also, I highly recommend using this setup with some garden. Like, why this location is so perfect? Because first of all, it's completely isolated. It's considered a separate zone, so you will never have items flying over the edge. So you don't have to have as much stuff around you. But if you were to make it in any other area, not in this particular area, then all you need to do is put a bunch of bushes on the side to make sure that nothing flies over. So basically, you, like this. This is actually a pretty efficient setup as well. But 2 blocks on the middle is not enough, unfortunately. So I kind of scrapped this location. If it was 1 square wider, it would work. But it did not work for me. So I went for this location, and it works absolutely perfectly. And it has enough space to build your entire garden here. So you can come here, harvest all of your bushes, and then harvest all of your pineapples, and it just, everything fits perfectly. Everything works as a well-oiled clock. You will have all of you, like, it's the most efficient way to farm, in my opinion. And now with pineapples, it got even more efficient. If you want to do this for pumpkins, you should definitely, basically you do the same thing if you wanted to do for pumpkins, but you're going to need to have much more space in the middle. Basically, for every row of 5 of pumpkins, basically you're going to need to have at least 5, maybe even 6 in the middle. So you're going to have to, right now this is 2 or 4 squares. If you want to have this for pumpkins, you're going to need 6 by 4, 24 squares in the middle. So basically you'll have to increase the square size by like the width of this thing by 6, which is not efficient whatsoever. So that's why I think the pineapples work way better with the new watering machines, because watering machines, you cannot make long narrow rows because you're gonna need more than 4 this way. So this is the only way. The most efficient setup is definitely with pineapples, and 120 field is pretty decent. It's super fast to replant. I've seen a lot of people say, who needs farming anymore when you can just harvest everything automatically? Well, speaking of that, I have a video on this topic coming out very soon. I'm gonna compare what's the best way to make money, time bending or farming. And I still have no idea what results are. What I do know is that when you harvest with the machine, you are losing incredible amount of money, because if you have decent amount of farmers, like if you have at least 15 farmers or 16, I forgot the number, you're going to be getting 4 extra drops every time. So for each pineapple you harvest, you're going to be getting 5 in total, which is insane. And if you harvest with the machine, you're only getting 1. So you're losing 80% of potential money. You do save a little bit of inefficiency, but you are losing all of that money. So I would say that's probably not worth it, harvesting without, like with a machine. But everything else, I highly recommend planting with these machines as well. I think it's completely worth the miss, because it takes seeds from anywhere. You don't have to have any seeds on you ever. You can put a giant chest, fill it up with pineapple seeds, and set this up to... I think you do need to have pineapple in your inventory when you're setting it up. But once you selected the seed for this thing, it will always have seeds in stock as long as you have any seeds in your chests. So it's super easy to plant. It saves lots of time. It's going to water it automatically. It's absolutely beautiful. I was I was initially a little bit disappointed in these machines, but I was completely wrong. These things are amazing. This field is pretty much fully automatic. The only thing you do is harvest. To be honest, yeah, once again, I don't think you should be harvesting with these machines, but I'm gonna run additional testing to determine for sure. So let me show you the layout. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the layout is. The point is, you for pineapples, you're gonna need to have at least 4 blocks between the rows. If you're gonna use pumpkins, you need to have at least 24 blocks between the rows. Sorry, why did I say 24? 6 by 2, 12. 12, not 24. Forget everything I said. It's 12. So it's triple the size, pretty much. Triple the size. So you have 4 right now, and you need to add 8 more. Yeah, you can totally do 8 more. So you could have this set up for pumpkins. You can easily do 8 more. You can do exactly 8 more. You just have 6, 7, 8. You can literally have this moved by 8 back. 6, 7, 8. This one even has 9. So yeah, this is perfect. You could have this set up for pumpkins. You basically will have to get rid of everything on the side and move these all the way to the left, and these almost all the way to the left. You're still gonna have to have 1 square. You could probably have a fence just so nothing falls there. So this could work for pumpkins, but I really like the pineapple because how compact it is and how much easier it is to pick everything up, and how satisfying it is. It's just so crisp. It's just fantastic. And you have plenty of space to have all of your fruit trees. So yeah, this is the design. If you guys want to copy it, just start with laying down the red carpet in the middle. Make sure you have at least 4. And then you make 5 rows. 10 squares to the left, 10 squares to the right. Then you place these machines in the middle, so you have watering. You might say you're wasting a whole row that you could water, but in my experience and in my opinion, that extra row creates way too many problems because it's gonna have obstacles. You're gonna have to go around things, and I just don't think it's worth it. I think using these things for 5 rows is more than enough for a garden, and it just looks way cleaner and way easier to farm. So yeah, here is my efficient farming setup 2.0. Absolutely works like a charm. I've been testing it for a week and did not have any problems, especially if you don't use those 2 extra crops in the middle, which I just realized completely not worth it. Just use it like this. You do 2 harvests, pick it up, never have an issue. Beautiful. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna give it a try, and if you can see some ways where you can improve it even more, because I'm sure there are ways. I'm sure there are ways to improve it. But for now, this is all I got for you for today. Thank you so much for watching, and huge thanks to all of our awesome supporters. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I hope you learned something today. I hope that you saw this setup and you're like, this sounds smart. I'm gonna try this out. It doesn't take that long to set up. It did take me a long time to set up because I had to test out what would be the perfect location, like how many blocks I'm allowed to have in the middle, how many, like covering everything. But the best things to use to cover empty spots are fences for long 1 square wide areas. If the area is 3 or 6 squares wide, use the rock cluster. If it's 2 squares wide, I use either, if it's 2 by 2, use little tiny bushes like jungle bush. If it's 2 by 3, use scar bones. If it's 2 by 4 or 5, then use 2 by 5 or 2 by 6. If it's 2 by 6, then use the flower beds. Those items do not allow you to drop items. And then what I use is chessboards to fill up basically areas where I don't want to have a fence, but I still want to have 1 block sized when I have 1 block sized holes, I would use chessboards. They just absolutely fit those holes very nicely, and they look pretty cool. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.